Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM, we welcome you. Also, those joining us through our online affiliates around the world, we thank you all for tuning in as well. We're excited to welcome CJ to our program today. He's not only a fitness model and trainer, but also a motivational speaker. We're going to talk to CJ not only about how he began on his journey, but also what it's been like for him to not only set goals for himself and reach them, but also help other people to do the same thing. Part of the work that CJ does is being able to help you and being able to look at not only yourself physically, but also what you're putting inside your body as well. We'll tell you at the end of our segment how you can stay connected with CJ, as well as, of course, be able to connect with him too. CJ, hello to you and welcome to the program, man.
Hello. Thank you for having me today.
Hey, man, glad to do it. As I said, we're going to tell them at the end of the program how they can stay connected with you. I want to kind of talk about this experience for you, CJ. I mean, because one of the things you've been able to do, and I noticed it on your website, is you've been able to not only show people that this is a lifestyle. It's not something they do to try to fit certain clothes. It's not something they do to, get ready for a certain event in their life. What has it been like for you to use fitness as a lifestyle and then to be able to share that with other people?
Well, it's been a great journey. I want to say that. I've been always active since I was a teenager. So for me to actually get into, weight training, health, what you put into your body, how to help others change their life, it's been a pleasure and an opportunity. I started about 5 years ago as far as weight training. I gained about 40 pounds of muscle. I was trained through a friend of mine's who honestly just needed a workout partner. But I seen the change in his body. I seen the change in my body. And what I saw in myself is it made me more focused. It made me more eager to learn. It made me want more. I seen results, and I wanted more. And from the feeling that I got, I knew others had that feeling inside of them. So I knew the way I am as a person, I could bring it out of them. So that's how somewhat the journey started.
Right. And along the way, as I said, you kind of built a brand all up on yourself, CJ, and not only, of course, what you've been able to do with fitness, but also, of course, being able to show people the benefits of changing the way they live their lives. I mean, take us into the process a little bit. I mean, one of the things I heard a guest say on this program, I bring it up a lot because it really struck me when he said it, and I found so many people, as I asked them about it, have been able to share their own thoughts with it. I had a fitness trainer tell us, one of the important things is to discover your why. How important has that been for you in working with your clients to get them to understand why they want to be able to make the changes they come to you for?
Well, it's very important because everyone has different goals. That's the first thing I do in a fitness assessment when I meet you. I figure out what's your real reason. Is it for a trip? Your birthday coming up? Is it really you need a lifestyle change? The one thing that I fear and I hope and that everybody's listening on the broadcast, that you do not go to the gym or you don't have to be forced to start with a trainer because of health issues. I get that a lot. Person coming in because of high blood pressure, it's a whole list of things that I get. And that's the last thing that a client wants to do, because now you're forced to take a certain amount of medicine, probably as you wake up, before you go to bed, throughout the day probably. And it's like you are forcing yourself because you don't want to end your life early. So it's more so you're not living and you're not working out to live for tomorrow or next week. You're working out to add those extra 10 and 15 years to your life, to see your grandkids, to see your kids walk across the stage. So it's more so you're not just doing it for yourself. So when you take advantage of it and not do the little things, you're sitting there and you're disappointing your family, not just yourself.
Right.
Do it for your family, not just yourself.
And I think being able to have that something to work for is so important. Now, of course, you've been able to work with your clients one-on-one, CJ, but the Internet has really opened up the world to you. Talk to us about that. I mean, you have, an amazing audience online that have, connected with you there, follow you. What has it been like for you to build that tribe and that support online?
Throughout the years, social media changes a lot. Sometimes it's hard to get in contact with people one-on-one because of, probably where they work. A lot of people just go to work, come home, deal with their family, their kids. But the Internet has changed my life because it's a networking tool. I can reach a bunch of people here in my state, reach a bunch of people across the world, not even just the United States. So I have been training in Miami. I'm here located in Baltimore. I have been training in Miami. A few clients. I have clients that have reached out to me in L.A. Online training. I do a lot of online training also. So my online training is not mainly just for the people that are here in my state or in the surrounding area. It's for people that's all over the world. And that's mainly why I started doing online training, because I know it's a lot of people that do not have the income to fly me out to get one-on-one services, but you get that service online and you get your daily check-ins. I definitely help you with your eating, and I give you, your workout regimens for us, not just you, for us to reach that goal.
Right. I bring that up because, when people, if they're not following you on Instagram, they can find you there at CJ King Takeover. And one of the things, of course, your name there on Instagram is Fitness King. I think, one of the biggest things that has to come into play is one's confidence toward their goals and one's confidence toward themselves. What has that journey been like for you, CJ, to be able to not only to embrace the title of Fitness King, but to be able to walk in that every day?
It's pretty good. I embrace it tremendously because I give it my all. I put my everything behind my name, my brand. And the people that work with me closely, they see that. People online see that. I put my all in my workouts. I put my all in everything that I do. I tell my clients a lot because it makes sense when I talk to them. I need your results more than you need your results. I tell them right when you cross that door, you come to me and we have that initial conversation and you give me, the confidence that you trust in me. When you trust in me, that's it. I'm going to believe in you no matter what, no matter how big your goal is, no matter how much you think you cannot achieve it. I'm going to still have that faith in you. I'm going to definitely push you to the max because you've given me the trust that, that I could get the job done. I know I can get the job done, but for you to believe in me, we're going to get the job done.
Right. I think that's it. And, we've all heard that saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. One of the things that you shared on Instagram, and I invite our audience to take a look at this when they get a chance, CJ, is on April the 10th on Instagram, you shared your client, Ash, and even though you said that she can be a headache, that one of the things that you appreciate, is her passion for wanting to change her life, and you showed, her 60-day transformation with you. And you say this, and I think this is the big thing I want our audience to get. Most clients want to see results overnight or complain and not do the workout. Not her. She hated me her first day, and it's been my pleasure to help her keep up the good work. And I think that is the thing. You go on to say this: you listen to me, and we will get it done. We've all heard that saying normally with teams that there is no I in team. Is it also something you want them to realize? And it's kind of what you just said, CJ. It sounds like is that you help them to realize that even though it is their goal they're coming to you with, it then becomes a mutual goal for the two of you.
Yes, there is no I in team, and I guess I do say, listen to me, we get it done, but it's not just on my end. When you step foot through that door, that gymnasium door, I'm gonna do my part. We're gonna argue. You're gonna dislike me for that hour, but I'm gonna make sure you get that workout and you get your money's worth. Now, when you cross that door to go home, I'm not monitoring you. I don't have a 24-hour surveillance camera on you. So I'm hoping that other part, that you're doing your part as far as eating. Your meal prepping, your workout regimen that I give you on your off days when you're not working with me. So if you're doing that part, yes, we will reach your goal. And you're right, there's no iron thing. And a lot of my clients, it's a love-hate relationship, but in the end, they still love me because they're getting what they paid for.
Right. Exactly. You also talk a lot about, and you kind of began this year on Instagram, CJ, talking about, the importance for one of dedication, but also discipline, how one has to discipline not just their body, you say, but also their mind. Is that really for you where it all begins? It's less about trying to get ready for something special or wanting to look a certain way, but making up your mind that you want to do this and you're going to do it.
Yes, the discipline, the mental part sometimes defeats us a lot because you see yourself every day. So you may not sit there and feel that you're, getting the results or it's not working. But I tell people all the time, pay attention to how your clothes fit. Pay attention to take pictures weekly. Compare your pictures. Your picture is not going to lie to you. So I definitely stress it because if you sit there and you allow the mental part to defeat you, then, we're going to fail as a team. And I can't stress enough that when I tell people, ask me all the questions you need to ask me. My phone is always open to my clients to a certain, respectable time. But ask me all the questions you need to ask me. Ask me if you're doing this right. Ask for a substitute for foods that you can't eat or you're allergic to. Don't just guess it, because like I said, when you do that, you will start messing up. You won't stay consistent.
Right. I think that's it, and I think that's the great lesson for all of us. For those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're glad to welcome CJ to our program today. CJ is a fitness model and trainer as well as a motivator, as you can kind of tell in this conversation. We're talking with him not only about what it's been like for him to be able to set goals for himself, but also then, of course, to be able to help other people to be able to set goals as well. We all also have heard that saying. I mentioned there's no I in team, CJ, but there's also the saying you are what you eat. Part of what I noticed on your website, cjfitnesslifestyle.net, is that people are able to not only, of course, get involved with the fitness aspect of what you have to offer, but also the meal prep. Talk to us about that because, a lot of times people feel like, hey, I'm doing the workout. Does it matter as much what I'm eating? I mean, talk to us about the marriage of the two.
Tremendously. That part of the marriage, I know you heard the 80-20 rule, right?
Right.
Well, the 80% part is the food. And I'm going to tell you that because you can lose the weight that you want without working out. I don't suggest it, but you can. You can lose the weight that you want without working out if you're properly eating. If you're properly intaking the right amount of nutrients and protein every day, your macros, all of that. If you're properly doing this and you're meal prepping and you're staying consistent, yes, you can lose the weight. And also for those that are not looking to lose weight to gain muscle, get bigger or tone and maintain, you still have to eat right. To gain or lose, you have to eat.
And I think that's a big thing for people to be able to realize for sure. So for you, when people come to you, and I'm sure this plays a big role now, especially with the virtual experience that you're able to do, CJ, because again, through the websites, they're able to kind of connect with you to kind of find out, I guess, what is best for them, but also, of course, how you can best help them. Are you finding that is one of the big things that people struggle with, the importance of not only, of course, how often to eat, but also what to eat?
Yes, tremendously. People are confused. A lot of people think you could just eat salads all day. A lot of people think, or if I don't eat or if I skip a meal, I'm going to lose the weight. But what they fail to realize is their body is actually needs to feed. It's looking to feed. You need to feed your body. And when you are feeding your body small portion meals, you'll start to get more hungry and want to eat more and more every 2 to 3 hours. I know you hear that a lot. Everybody say, well, you should eat every 2 to 3 hours. When you're eating nice small portion meals, your body is, you eat to satisfy the hunger, but you don't want to fill the hunger.
And I guess, that is something for all of us to be able to keep in mind, no matter what it is that our goals might be. I want to go back to how we began this conversation, CJ, and that is about it being a lifestyle. I think that is the big thing. It's not just something you do for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. I mean, is that one of the hardest sales for you to be able to make to people, that this is something they should be willing to commit to for their life?
At times it is, but a lot of individuals it's when they get going and you start to see the results within yourself, you start to want more. So as you're wanting more and you're seeing results, you set different goals, you set more goals, because now your body is just maintaining if you keep everything the same. So that's the main thing.
For you, as you kind of are the face of this, I mean, how much responsibility do you feel, not only, of course, about what you're sharing with people who come to you, CJ, but also in being able to, to walk the walk when it comes to what you're sharing with them?
A lot. I feel it's a huge responsibility within myself, but again, that's my job title. I'm a lifestyle fitness trainer. I'm here to change lives. I have changed tremendously big amount of individuals' lives. I've worked with all types of people, old, young, teenagers, women, men. So it's just to work with a good amount of individuals, changing lives, seeing the results, seeing from day one when they like, you may be right, you might can help, to day 60 or a year later, and they smiling and feeling themselves, and I'm seeing the captions on their pictures, and like just seeing, the eager and the determination to want more within themselves and more from me. So they expect more from me. I'll make sure I'm doing my job and give them more.
Right. I think that's the thing. As far as the brand goes, I mean, what is next for you, CJ? I mean, you're being involved in people's lives in person. You're able to reach them online. You're helping them, of course, with the meal prep that we talked about. I mean, what do you see as the next chapter for yourself?
As far as fitness, I'm trying to get out there more within the United States, period. I network tremendously. So I'm definitely promoting myself, my brand, my work, what I do, because I know it has, at the end of that road, it has a lot waiting for me, because this is just the beginning, trust me. I'm just getting started. So I'm just eager to know what's at the end of that tunnel, or just halfway there, to keep me going. I already pushed myself, to the max as is, so somebody will see my hard work, somebody.
Right. I think that's the thing. The hard work always pays off. Again, everyone, CJ has been our guest. We've been talking with him not only about his experience as a fitness model and trainer, but also what it's been like for him to be able to set his own goals and to reach those, and now to be able to help his clients literally around the world be able to do the same thing. I mentioned it earlier, CJ, but I will repeat it for our audience. They can go to your website at www.jcfitnesslifestyle.net. Again, it's www.jcfitnesslifestyle.net. There you can find out more information about the services that CJ offers. And CJ, I mentioned that you're on Instagram and also on other social media outlets. Let them know how to stay connected with you there.
They definitely can stay connected with me with Instagram. My Instagram name, CJ King Takeover, CJ KING TAKEOVA. And you already gave them the website information.
Right. So make sure you always stay connected with CJ, man. CJ, congratulations to you again, man. Thank you so much for the time, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're more than welcome, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with CJ, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right as we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go over to twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. You will make it a great one.